Hey there, it's Cherish. Welcome to the studio. Today the studio's outside again. Yay! I haven't come out here in like 2 weeks because I was in the hospital, had my gallbladder out. It's a whole long story, but I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, let's get to it. It's a really pretty view today. Take a look. Look at that. It's so pretty. So thank you first to those of you who are new subscribers, and thank you to those of you who said, asked about my health. I am doing better, getting stronger. I think this day that I was out was probably a little too early to be out, but we got it done. So there were three main things that I learned from this day that I have taken with me into new drawings. And what they are is, number one, getting that drawing right. Just get the drawing right. Spend more time on the drawing than the painting. I think for me that was a really big thing, because I do come from the world of just doing more drawing and being more of a black and white graphite artist, that kind of thing. So moving into painting is kind of awkward because it feels like you should just be able to be like, yeah. And you should just be able to slap paint on and go, blah, blah, blah. So the thing that really helps me out is being able to draw with the watercolor pens. These are the Ecoliner watercolor pens. I love drawing with them. I love getting things ready with them. And I've been doing a lot in my sketchbooks where I'm just working with those pens. And the cool thing, of course, about them is that you can just splash water on them and it becomes more painterly, because because they're literal ink. They're the same ink that you get in the jar, the Ecoliner jar. So it really, in my head, frees me up to become a better, make the composition better, to plan that composition better. That was my husband's leg. But planning the composition better is really super helpful for me. And I think one thing that I kind of learned have been learning as I've been going is that I need to just, breathe, plan that composition, do the drawing. And then the other one is honestly to fill everything, just start filling everything in. Like when it comes to painting, it's better to start with a base and then refine. And then with drawing, it's more like you're starting with that really refined drawing, and then you're kind of from there tone and value. So it's it's really kind of like opposite land for me right now. But I think it's going well. So like I said, the first thing that really helped me was getting the drawing right. The second thing that I want to get into is layer. That's what I call it, just layering. Layering is interesting with paint because it's not to me, it's like, as a person that is as a drawer, like I am a drawer, it is not intuitive to layer. It's not intuitive at all. Like if you want something to end up pink, you got to put the purple on first. You got to put whatever the base color is, whatever that shadow color is, you got to put that on first. Whereas if you're coming to it with like graphite, it's really just about layering on the graphite and getting the tonal quality right. But when you add in color and you add in the actual physical material of paint, you've got to understand, you've got to mold that paint. You've got to make that paint kind of mold to what you want it to do. And if you want it to be a purple shadow in the end, well, you got to put the green grass down first. Or you have to put the relational things. You have to put everything in relationship to that purple shadow down so that you can see if it's the right purple. Because if you put in a color that's the wrong color next to the right color, it's going to very quickly be like the color of the mountains. If you look at the color, that big blue in the background is the mountain, but it is the wrong color. It's the wrong tone. It doesn't lay backward, and it's fine. This is a sketchbook drawing. It's not meant to be perfect, but it is definitely something that was like, oh, ding, it was something that helped me learn that I needed to be really careful about how I put down the color, even with the markers, because the markers, even though you can add water and all that kind of stuff, they're still fairly strong. So you still need the right color with those markers. But otherwise, I thought that it was a really fun experiment with laying down the colors and figuring out how to put down the right color, and then how to put the next color on top and the next color on top and the next color on top. And honestly, I mean, like, shout out to everybody who's already figured this stuff out, because it's really a it's really a skill. It's really a skill that you learn over time. And I can honestly say that the drawings that I'm doing now, I understand that better. So I'm able to do it better. And I'm able to kind of like, oh, you know, I need to do this thing first before I get the final bright green color of the tree. I need to kind of first, here's a, whatever, my bluish umberish color that is the shadow of the, you know, bluish umberish greenish shadow of the that little shadow of the bark or whatever. It's interesting to understand that now, whereas before I kind of didn't understand. That man is not attacking his child. They're just playing. It was very fun. It was very cute. They were laughing and everything. Anyway, it's very interesting to understand that now, and to be able to go, I get how to lay that color down now, as opposed to when I started and I didn't really understand how to lay that color down. Like, landscape has been kicking my butt a little bit, and I love that. The last thing that I learned, or I mean, I'm learning so much, but the last one that I will claim is to do a lot of these, like bang out drawing and painting and drawing and painting and drawing and painting. I'm even starting to add in some oil paintings into the mix of this grouping, because I don't want the oil painting skills to kind of go down. But I've been doing so many bad landscapes for a long while. And I have to say that I felt like this one, and there was another one that I just completed of the beach. And actually yesterday I did a few at the park again. I felt like as I've gone and as I've continued to do kind of not amazing drawings and paintings over and over again, that I'm learning so much. And all of a sudden, the drawings that I'm doing now, the paintings that I'm doing now are they're okay. They're coming along. They're coming along. I am actually starting to enjoy it. I'm actually starting to take my time and to plan these things out a little bit better. And I'm actually starting to create some work that is like, all of a sudden it's good to okay, you know, or okay to good. I don't know when I'm going to hit amazing, but I do love the fact that the more work you put into it, the more bad drawings that you make, and I'm using bad with air quotes here, the more you do, the faster you're going to get to the goal, the faster you're going to get to where you're going to go. I will add in one more thing, because I have a little bit more time on this view. Preparing the paper, that has also been exciting. So normally if I'm doing like something on wood, I'll put a little PVA size on it, and then I will add my ground, and then, you know, a bunch of sanding. It's a whole thing. And then I start to paint on it. And it's the most beautiful, smooth, wonderful surface. And I have no doubts in my mind that the wood is going to hold up over time. But with paper, so this one, the one that you're looking at right now, there's nothing on that. That's just the paper. It's 300 GSM. It's the Ranger sketchbook. It's the larger size sketchbook. And that sketchbook can, I mean, I think it can climb a mountain. I think it's so great. And when I order them on Amazon now, I've started to order, like, there's you know, when it suggests different sizes to you, I just order all three, because it takes a long time for it to come in the mail. But I'm okay with that, because the quality of the paper in the sketchbook is amazing. The other thing that I'm doing is, you can kind of see on the right where it just fell, is I'm prepping some paper to bring with me, so that when I finish in the sketchbook, so the way I look at it is like, sketchbook is for figuring out my thoughts, and then hopefully I'm able to take out one of those bigger pieces of paper and do a painting or drawing on that bigger piece of paper once I've kind of figured out what I'm looking at. well. I've started to prep those pages. I prepped one with PVA size just by itself, just to see what would happen. And I prepped a few others with clear gesso plus water. So like a soupy mix of clear gesso and water. And the clear gesso and water is the clear winner. The PVA is kind of like, it acts like plastic. It probably is. It is a polymer, so it is plastic. But you can paint on it. You can paint on it with the watercolor, but it probably would be better to use oil or acrylic because it'll really stick to that. Whereas the watercolor, I did a painting of the beach and I kind of, you know, added a little bit more color to one of the rocks and the color literally came off. So I was like, oh my God. Oh no, I think this might not be the right choice. But when I did the same test with the Michael Harding clear gesso plus water, and I think I had another one that was it was just it was the Liquitex clear gesso, the one that you squeeze out of the bottle. I think the Liquitex clear gesso actually worked better because it's already more liquidy than Michael Harding is more like a pudding. And it was beautiful because I was able to get that like wash of watercolor color, but it stuck. It's like in there. It stuck super well. And so that's what I think I'm going to be using going forward as far as preparation for the paper. In fact, I have another book that I drew in yesterday that is 100 GSM paper, and I didn't like the paper itself, and I think that's why I stopped using the sketchbook in the first place, because the paper would, after a while, would kind of start doing that thing where it creates those little balls, and I don't like that. So I gave myself a moment to like breathe, because we like the format. We just don't like the paper. And I just finished up my little Michael Harding plus water mix that I had in a container and just put that on that paper. And now I feel really confident about taking that sketchbook out to draw in or to paint in because it's got that little bit of protection. I think the one thing I don't know is if it's going to hold up to oil paint. So if I ever, use that mix with oil paint. So I may give that a try. I did prep some paper with that mixture, oil paper. So I have oil paper and watercolor paper. I did prep some with that mixture. So I'll give that a try and see if I like it or not. I'll be sure to let you know which one wins and which one loses. It'll be the great Jeopardy game of our lives. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. Okay, so I'm using the Ranger sketchbook. This one, I actually got a bigger one. So this is the biggest size I think that they sell. I love it. Like no problem with the paper. Love that one. I am now working on, this is a loose sheet that I've taped to a board. So I put some Michael Harding gesso plus water on this one. So this is kind of a test to see how it works. And then I've got kind of all my markers out. I didn't think this was a marker day, but I'm using a lot of Ecoline pens. I've used this Acrylic marker, and I'm using my Caran d'Ache watercolor pencils. And I like them because I'm just dipping them in a little bit of water to kind of get them loose. And I like that because it makes a good line when I'm drawing. So it's kind of becoming fun. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. I realized at the very end that I never actually showed you the completed drawing. So here's the book, here's the Ranger book. Before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe and do all the things. Leave a comment. I've been loving the comments so much, or I am in love with the comments. So this is the drawing from the park. I really like it. I really like it. There were some things about it that I notice now that I've had some time away from it that I didn't notice on the day. Like I thought, oh my God, it's so clunky. But look, like it's really coming together. Really love that. The other drawings of the day were crazy. This one I would consider to be just okay, whatever. But also like looking at it in the camera right now, Not bad. I wish I would have finished it. I did do another drawing yesterday at the park. I'll show it to you real quick. So this was the one I liked the best. Someone told me it was very like graphic, you know, like the, you know, those, you know, you know, those kind of movies, like the 60s graphic style, like The Incredibles. Here's another one that I did on the day or yesterday. I really, really like it, and I really am starting to feel like it's happening when it's coming to landscape. And I did do another one, but you don't want to see that one. Looks crazy. And then what else? I bought a ton of tape. Just a ton of tape. I'm trying out frog tape because even this tape, which is the delicate tape, so these are both delicate. The delicate tape still rips up everything. And then this I got from Home Depot in the painting section. And look, it's like a little extendable. So I thought that was great because I really feel like I need more space in the pan, but also a bigger bowl. And I think this was like $5, $2, something like that. And the tape is really expensive. The tape costs more than this little plastic thing. So Home Depot, go buy some stuff. I also bought, because I needed some wider brushes, I bought a really big brush, 3-inch brush from Blick Essentials. So Blick Essentials it's like 3 brushes in one package. And honestly, it's a good brush. I don't really care if it's like the cheaper brush. I care that it works. So that one is so good. Of course, I don't know where the other 2 are, but there was a 3-inch, there was a 2-inch, and there was like a 1-inch. So quick haul. You got to see the art. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you next week.